This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Monday Night Hoops sees the Breakers tackle Illawarra in Wollongong. Can't wait for this one. Should be a really entertaining and high-scoring game of basketball. I think Illawarra will do enough on the back of a loss to the 36ers. They get home and they should be able to do the job. That's the first leg of our same game multi. The next one is Tyler Harvey. Has been shooting the ball at only 33%. He'll get hot tonight. Sam Froling's the big boy for the Hawks who gets on the glass, and Will McDowell-White should be able to distribute for the Breakers. Enjoy the game and gamble responsibly.
You know the score. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
We are stuffing a lid on round 3 of Hungry Jack's NBL by taking you up close and personal to the Illawarra Hawks. Back home after being burnt late by Perth and Adelaide, can Tyler Harvey and Mango Mathiang handle the Breakers fresh from their wins against Tasmania and South East Melbourne? The Breakers climb into the sandpit chasing 3 straight wins for the first time in a long time. It's New Zealand visiting Illawarra again, and it's on right now. We are at the Wynn Entertainment Centre for some baskets by the sea. Monday Night Hoops. You gotta love Monday Night Basketball. The Hawks 1 win, 1 loss here. This season is desperate for them. They need success now on their home floor after tumbling to 1-3. Good evening, everybody. My name is Matt Russell, alongside former Kings captain Brad Rosen. Brad, a big night for the home team, a big night for Tyler Harvey.
Yeah, it is. Tyler Harvey hasn't been shooting the ball well. He's averaging 33%. Shooting, I should say, from 33%, and he needs a big one tonight. They're 1-3. They have played against some big boys, though, so this is a good win for them tonight. They hope they get for New Zealand.
Yes, his scoring output, the man on screen, down compared to last season. Can he get going tonight? When you're looking for positives out of Illawarra's season so far, all 4 games they've led in the final quarter. What does that say about the Hawks?
Yeah, and that's what they should feel good about. They have been playing good basketball. They just seem to fade at that fourth, and I think it's down the stretch where they just need to get that momentum and play through their sets. That's why I think Tyler's shooting at a low percentage, because they're not getting through their sets. He's having to force up shots and they're not dropping.
The Breakers come here after back-to-back wins, but without Barry Brown. The import has hamstring tightness. So, as a result, the Branley boys, Jamal and Jarrell, will line up, and that is a damn good story.
Isn't it great? You've got 2 of the brothers there are going to be playing, and it's the first imports to play together in a game, so that's outstanding for our league. It isn't a shock. Jamal has been training with them all season, so he's not going to have to feel his way around, and that's a positive for New Zealand.
No Barry Brown. We know that Tom Abercrombie has the eye injury as well. As a result, the output, the game performance of Rob Lowe becomes really important.
Isn't it great to see the big fella do well? He's at 18 points the other night against Phoenix, and he's shooting the ball so well. It's inside, it's outside, and his strength has always been able to knock down the 3. Right here, you see it all the time. He stretches the defense, and now he can just give me those little gimmies as well. He's a great shooter. He's a great player. He's smart. Great pickup for them, and I really love watching him go to work. He's just so nice.
We are heading towards tip-off very soon, but firstly, some breaking news centering on the Illawarra Hawks. We know that Justin Robinson is out for the season with a knee injury, or at least the majority of the season. Who was going to come in to replace him? Well, today, their general manager of basketball, Matty Campbell, told me it is Peyton Seaver. He has verbally agreed to a deal. It's still to be formalised in terms of paperwork, but it will be done in coming days. He won't be here, obviously, tonight or next Monday, the next game, but soon after that. Is he a good fit for the Hawks?
Love it. Great signing. We spoke about Tyler Harvey's percentage. It's great that they've been able to get a point guard that is really good. He averaged 12 points a game last year for New Zealand. I love the fact that they're bringing him in. I think they looked at him earlier in the season as well, so they'll be happy, and it's a great pickup for the Hawkies.
Part of the reason they need Peyton Seaver is because of injuries and because of players they've lost in past seasons. Key ingredients as we welcome Joel Peterson and Liam Santamaria. What the hell happened to one of those ingredients? Xavier Ratan-Mays.
Well, he's alongside us, Matty and Brad. Thank you. in the commentary booth. Liam, firstly to you, Peyton Seaver is a very handy signing for the Hawks.
Yeah, exciting to have him coming back into the league. Never really fully got going for New Zealand last year, but this is a guy who has played at a really high level, and can get some things done.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. He does such an amazing job of putting pressure on the rim, and then he's able to shoot the three ball at a consistent high level, which is tough for defenses and matching up against him. So really great addition, and I think he'll do really well in their system.
Hawks fans will be looking forward to seeing him in their lineup. Here's their lineup for tonight, the champion starting five. Lee.
Yeah, Lockie Dent standing in at point guard, doing a really good job. And Deng, geez, didn't he play well the other night in Adelaide? Sam Froling and Tyler Harvey, though, need to have big ones.
And for the Breakers, Xavier?
Yeah, they're going with the same lineup that they did the other night. They're playing basketball at an extremely high level right now. Isaiah Liafa did an amazing job of being able to get guys in spots and put pressure on the defense, and I'm looking forward to another big performance from him tonight.
Should be a good one. Monday night hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Cam Glidden back for the Breakers tonight. No Barry Brown, as Matty told you off the tip. Daryl Millard, the Brisbane-based referee, on debut, gets us underway. And the Hawks will control the opening tip. Having lost their past two, the Breakers coming in on a two-game winning streak. The win will entrench them inside the top three this evening. Deng loses the handle on the perimeter. Froling has a moment as well. Spins his way inside. Fadeaway jump shot. Nice start.
Oh, made something out of nothing there, Sam Froling. Good defensive set to open the game from the Breakers, but one-on-one, Froling put it on the deck and made something happen.
Always great when Sammy gets going early. You know he's going to have a good night when he can do that.
Here's Brantley. Cross-court pass to Rupert. Puts it on the floor. Slings it back to Brantley. Makes his move inside. Rattles it in as the shot clock expires.
Good touch from Brantley. Just a little bump just to create a little space. He's strong down low. Gets the Breakers underway.
So plenty of what he can offer. I'll be hoping he can maybe avoid some foul trouble. Here's Dent getting inside.
There he goes.
A great start to the season.
There Lucky goes, man. He's it's great to see Lucky getting his opportunity and being able to come out here and shine in the opportunity that he's given. It's something that we've seen plenty times last season, so extremely happy for him.
Did you see that he was capable of it on the practice court in your time there, X?
Is he ever? He gave us fits in the offensive scout team last year, so he's a great talent.
So the Hawks looking to build an early buffer here. New Zealand haven't trailed at quarter time so far this season. Whistle on the play. Brantley picks up his first. Averaging 4 fouls a game so far this season is Jarrell Brantley.
Yeah, just getting used to the officiating. He's a physical presence at that 4 spot. Froling can't finish there, and just trying to make that adjustment, get a sense of how it's getting whistled.
Here's Rupert from the corner. That comes up short. Pardon on the offensive glass gives them another set. Liafa from deep. Oh my God.
And there's that activity again that we talked about is Derek Pardon. Does such a great job for him.
Deng takes it inside. Froling with the offensive board for the Hawks. Turns into the chest of Pardon. Shot a little bit short. So 2.5 played. Both sides started hot, and now Rupert gets inside. He's fouled.
Been really impressed with Rayan Rupert in a Breakers jersey. We knew he was exciting coming into the league. We've seen what he'd done for, French junior national teams and the like, but ever since he started lining it up at the Blitz, and then certainly the other day against Southeast Melbourne, really impressive in extended run. And I like the fact that he's getting some things done off the bounce, putting it on the floor, little mid-range pull-ups there, getting himself to the free throw line.
Yeah, he's he raw, but you could tell he's going to be really special. The way he looks comfortable. He does such a great job on the defensive end for him, and is able to pick up guards full court. And you could tell that he's going to have a great career, and hopefully he's a high lottery pick for him.
He's from a very talented basketball family. His dad was a professional player. His sister part of the French national team, a WNBA champion with Las Vegas Aces. Hawks come up empty on their trip. Still ahead by one. Deng Deng takes it away. And the little behind-the-back dribble as well. Then he almost caught himself in a bit of misdirection mid-court. Froling under the basket, cutting inside. Swakala Bullock, nice move.
Good job from Froling. Sealing up, and the awareness to know he's getting a little extra defensive attention, and his open teammate was cutting to the rim.
Brantley thought about taking it all the way. Nice little head fake, throws it down.
He's a lot to deal with. He's physical, absolutely great offensive talent. He's a guy that you have to game plan for, and knowing that he's coming at you full speed every single time down.
Harvey's first shot's a miss. He's had his troubles on the offensive end, and now Derek Pardon takes it inside, hands the Breakers the first lead of the night. Froling's got plenty of touches early. Backing his way on Brantley. Spins to that left hand. Not happy with the finish. Arthur, first double-double in his NBL career against the Phoenix on Saturday. Nice pass inside. McDowell White. Pardon had it blocked. Hawks back the other way. Harvey's the trailer. Frees himself. Got it to Dent somehow, who cruises into the lane and lays it in.
Well, it's hectic. Both ends of the floor. Lucky Dan again, the ability to get into the paint and finish. He's been shooting the three ball really well in his minutes this season, but there, the ability to get inside and finish over the outstretched hand.
Shooting the triple at 58% so far this year, Lockie Dent. Repairs turnaround misses. He hasn't quite found his stroke like he did in the NBL Blitz, but that'll come. Here is Dent. Wastes no time getting involved.
Unbelievable. He's a great addition right now with Tyler. He's able to stretch the floor. He can release a little bit of pressure off of him. And just like you said, knocks the three ball down at such a high clip.
Outstanding start to the season. Pardon underneath with the putback slam.
Well, he's got some energy about him, Derek Pardon. He plays with a high motor and a high energy, but we saw, and you saw, as Brantley picks that one off.
Scoots inside, lays it off to repair. As Dent hit the floor, tied at 11.
You saw in that first game that against the Breakers how much of a problem he can be, Derek Pardon, and if they let him get after the offensive boards, 2 offensive boards already, it's going to be a problem for the Hawks.
Yeah, Derek Pardon is high energy, high energy. He does it. He's their anchor to their defense.
Harvey loses it. McDowell White sprints back the other way. He won't get an easier bucket than that. So the Breakers with a 6-0 run. Lead it by 2. Pardon with a deflection. Dent stays with the play. Harvey in the corner. Yes.
That's great to get him going. He needs that. Tyler's a guy that can get hot extremely quickly. And for him to see that one go down, you know, those always feel good as a player when you can knock that first one down and see it go through the rim.
10 of 28 on the season now from downtown Tyler Harvey. Repairs tripped up, making his way into the lane.
This is a really good find from Lockie Dent. Yeah, his man's open in the corner, but there's so much attention on Tyler Harvey at all times.
At all times, yeah.
His name's right up the top of the whiteboard for the opposing team coming in. So if you can find opportunities on broken plays, in transition to get him a look, that's big time.
Yeah, like you said, if you can get those type of guys, you know, 3-4 looks a game where they're uncontested, you're happy with those because hopefully, you know, they'll knock them down at a 50% clip.
Hawks fans will be hoping they see plenty more of that on the replay, thanks to our friends at Amy. Oh, George King's inbounds pass goes horribly wrong. Glidden had it fall into his lap, and Rupert lays it in. And a couple of substitutions for the Hawks and a quick timeout for Jacob Jackomas. That's not what he wanted to see.
Oh man, George King had just checked into the game. That's not how you want to get things underway, but geez, having the Breakers been impressive these last few minutes, really getting after it defensively. 4 turnovers for the Hawks, 4 steals. They're just up the floor. That's a mistake from George King, but it's created by the Breakers just being up the floor, putting a little pressure on. And Rayan Rupert, 5 early points as the Breakers take a 3-point lead.
He's showing his promise. A little bit of news filtering through from the NBL this afternoon too. So the league's handed Perth big man Jesse Wagstaff a 2-game suspension down to 1 for this incident against Melbourne United, Liam.
Yeah, it was ugly in the moment, wasn't it? He's just trying to set that terrace screen. Just moves his shoulder into the contact a little bit. You see that right there. Moves the shoulder into the contact, gets the head-high contact. So he gets the reduced to 1 game with an early guilty plea, which you'll assume that he'll submit. But really, really ugly. X, you were of course involved in this, trying to catch a quick little rest when this went down, and you turn around and Lockie's on the floor.
Yeah, it's always tough to see one of your guys go down, especially Lucky. He came off playing an absolutely great game for us the one before, and he's been big to us, and we obviously hoping that he gets back soon, and we want to see him well and back out there doing what he does for us.
So when you talk about a terror screen, what are you talking about there, Len?
Well, it's a screen from a big up in the backcourt, trying to free their ball handler up from some extended pressure, and it's a terror screen because the guy doesn't see it coming, essentially. Usually his teammates way back, the other end of the floor, the crowd is noisy and it's hard to communicate. And sometimes you can really lay some heavy contact, and that time it got him right in the head.
So Hawks did a little bit of work to do, down 3. Things just going a little bit sloppy for them. Let's get courtside to Matt Russell.
Yeah, Joel, in that last time out, Jacob Jackomas not happy with his side's hustle. He said rebounding, loose balls, they want it more than us. Got to take it personal, got to fight for that loose ball. Other end of the court, Brad Rosen.
New Zealand were very happy with what they're going on. They're just saying, just calm down. We love the energy, what we're doing. But to see how big this game is after every score, defensive stop, they're up off their chairs and they are right into this game. New Zealand, they've come to play.
That they have up by 3 early stages. White's shot won't go. Almost a new lineup out there for the Hawks with Matiang, Conrad, King and White joining Swakala Bullock out there. Glidden's out there along with Vodanovic and Rob Lowe. That's a nice move.
McDowell White, he's absolutely amazing in the pick and roll. His ability to make you make a decision, his ability to get downhill and play at the rim, but then also be a big-time passer for him is something that's extremely tough to deal with.
So it's an 8-0 run now for New Zealand. They lead by 5. Great to have Melbourne United star, former Hawk Xavier Rattan-Mays with us in commentary. Hungry Jacks NBL Monday Night Hoops coming to you. Illawarra back on their home floor. There's the 2 Brantley boys playing together for the first time tonight. Jamal, an injury replacement for Barry Brown, who's not suiting up. 40 sets of brothers that have played together in the NBL. The first set of import brothers to hit the court on the same team. Here's Liafa working through traffic. A whistle on the play.
Not a good foul. Yeah, Kevin White just got his hand stuck in the cookie jar. 3 seconds on the shot clock. And he really had nowhere to go. Isaiah Liafa and Kevin White bails him out.
Yeah, those are the ones you just got to stay solid. Stay solid, make a tough shot at the end of the clock. And if they make it, it's one that you live with. But you just got to stay solid towards the end of the clock like that.
So baseline ball and 14 resets for the Breakers. We're down 14-11, now lead 19-14, closing in on quarter time. Lowe tries to establish himself in the post. Long fall-away jump shot in and out. Rebound falls the way of George King, who was brilliant against Perth a couple of weekends ago, and I'd like to see a bit more offensive output from him. Mattiang puts it on the floor, gets inside, strong take.
That'll feel good for Mattiang. Just really hasn't quite got himself going so far this season, but this is a guy we know, as he gets himself rolling, can have a big impact.
Breaks the 8-0 run of the Breakers. Illawarra closing in on quarter time. Harvey working on Vodanovic. Nice pass to White. Conrad for 3. It's 4 of 4 all from inside the arc against the 36ers on Saturday. Couldn't connect there. Low rolls to the basket. Beautiful offense from the Breakers.
Big time pass in a corner empty side where the Alpha is great. He's able to, you know, attract to and get a great pass to a rolling big where on a naked side it's a layup at the rim.
It's 10 assists on Saturday against the Phoenix. He's started in nice passing form here. Shot won't go for Mattiang. Harvey almost came up with a steal, then White pokes it into the backcourt. A little bit of stress for Liafa. He's able to live with that. Can he beat the quarter time buzzer? He can't. Repair to Low, flips it up. Can't get it to go. They traded the lead for most of the opening term, but the Breakers able to establish themselves. They've led it every game at quarter time so far this season. And they're up by 5 on Monday Night Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Quarter time in Wollongong. Great start for the Hawks. And the Breakers fought their way back into the game. Went on an 8-0 run in the middle of the opening quarter. They lead by 5, 21-16 at the first break. Joel Peterson, Xavier Rattan-Mays and Liam Santamaria with you in commentary. Nice start to this game on Monday Night Hoops, Liam.
Yeah, they just got after him for a stretch in that first quarter, the Breakers, and caused some turnovers, built a bit of a lead. And 0 for 4 from long range for New Zealand, but 10 of 16 inside the arc, getting some really good looks close to the bucket.
Let's check in courtside with Matt Russell.
Yeah, an interesting insight into the goals that teams set themselves during game. Jacob Jackomas at quarter time asked his staff, how many stops did we have in that first quarter? Answer was 9. He then addressed his team and said, come on guys, we know that our target is 12 stops per quarter. And for the uninitiated at home, that's stopping the opposition with the ball from delivering a score at the end of that offense. So 12 stops per quarter, the aim for the Hawks each quarter, each game this season. Brad Rosen, over to you.
Yeah, New Zealand were very happy. The coach just said, push the tempo, but the point guard, control your team. Be smart with the ball. Make sure we're attacking Tyler Harvey and make him run on defense. That's what they're trying to do, tire him out.
Brad, how's the energy from Mody Mayor? Of course, we enjoyed his work as an assistant coach last couple of seasons, getting up and about on the sidelines. How's his energy in those huddles?
You can't help but smile. You just look at him and you're just like, he is just so into this game. We saw him as an assistant, but he's actually like really controlled. He gets up, he gets in, but then he says to his players, calm down, we're in this game. He wants the tempo to be high, but doing it smart, and he leads from the front.
Doing a good job in the early part of the season. Of course, you had him on the Huddle podcast pre-season. Liam, what were your impressions of Mody Mayor?
Yeah, I mean, he's just ready for this opportunity, really. Of course, long-time assistant. He's been in the wings there with Dan Shamir. And I'll tell you one thing, you know from talking to people around the Breakers, the players love him. He has a really nice relationship with the players as Rob Lowe finishes at the rim. And you can tell by the way they're playing to begin this season, connected and confident is how I'd describe his Breakers team thus far.
Let's check back in with Brad courtside.
Yeah, Liam, I was just listening to what you were saying with the players, and it's interesting you say that about the coach. They do love him. They've got his arm. They have their arms around him sometimes. They're communicating with him in the timeouts, give him a little slap on the back saying, we're loving this, and they're smiling. So you can definitely see New Zealand are loving their basketball, and you're right, that comes from with the coach.
Even on the bench on Saturday against South East Melbourne, Barry Brown injured. He was up and dancing around, and they look like they do have some good energy to start this campaign. Here's King putting it on the floor. Pass deflected by Lowe. Falls into the lap of Alex McNaught, who's getting a bit of extended run. Rob Lowe runs the floor and hammers it home.
Special run. When you have bigs that can put pressure on the rim in transition, that run the floor hard, it puts so much pressure on defenses to not only get back and manage the basketball, but it puts pressure on them from a penetration and being able to shoot threes in transition as well.
At 18 against the Phoenix, did Rob Lowe. He's had a great start to the season. He started well here. Here's Harvey from way downtown. Off the glass and out. Brantley pulls down the board. New Zealand by 9. Game-high lead for the Breakers. 2 and a bit played here in this second period. Brantley goes to work on Conrad and then flings it away. They've been pretty good with the ball in the early part. Just the 3 turnovers. Let's have a look at the Amy replay of Rob Lowe running down the floor.
Shout out the young fella, Alex McNaught, for the pass there. Now it was a pretty straightforward chest pass to the big running in transition, but he held it. He just held it for an extra moment so Rob Lowe could catch it in stride and finish at the cup.
Alex McNaught, of course, making his debut against the Phoenix in the NBL on Saturday. In front of the press conference after the game as well, so straight into the action. Here's Dent. Can't get that to go from long range. Dal White pushing the tempo back the other way. Liafa hasn't done any scoring so far, but he's done a good job of running the offense, and then it's tossed away looking inside for Ivanovic.
Joel, I was chatting with Mody Mayor following that game the other day. Alex McNaught, 13 really important minutes as a DP. And he told me he's a real student of the game. After practice, brings out his notebook, writes down what he learned that day on the sidelines, and tries to just make sure it sticks.
Following with a strong move inside, couldn't get it to go. Are you a notebook man, Xavier?
Not necessarily. I don't take notes, but you know, I love to be able to sit and watch and really learn from guys. For me this year, it's been a lot of learning from CG and just how he operates and his attention to detail and things like that. But probably wouldn't pull out the notebook, but
mental notes.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's Ivanovic stepping into a 3, so it's a 7-0 run out of quarter time for the Breakers. Game-high 12-point lead. And it's been an even scoring load so far, shooting it at 50% from the field. New Zealand in the early stages. And Illawarra with some scrappy turnovers. They're shooting at 35%, 7 of 20 to start. Dal White makes his move.
Black 7.
Offensive foul.
Well, there's a foul on Lockie Dent there. Joel just wrapping up the screen of Derek Pardon as he tried to fight over.
Those are big screens that he sets, man. They're extremely hard to get over. Like I said, he puts a lot of pressure on you with his screening action.
Beautiful play off the inbound, and Will McDowell-White takes it all the way to the cup.
Great read. Look at the beautiful spacing that the Breakers had on that play, and McDowell-White just read the defender on the high side, hard back cut to the rim, and one opportunity.
This season, with thanks to Latrobe Financial, we're giving away a guaranteed $50,000. Enter now at nbl.com.au/legends for your chance to win. McDowell-White misses the free throw, gets his own miss. Tosses it away, Harvey in the open court. Nice finish.
Got to get Tyler going a little bit here.
12-point New Zealand lead. Was a game-high 14 before that Tyler Harvey bucket. 9-0 run out of quarter time for the Breakers snapped. Liafa turns the corner. Free throw line jump shot won't go. Easy offensive rebound for Vodanovic. Pardon with another bullocking screen. Vodanovic spots up in the corner. Now McDowell-White straight away three. Rattles in and out. Pardon almost had the putback. Vodanovic was there to tip it home.
That all started with Pardon. 2 big-time screens, able to get guys open in the corner for threes to an extra. And then his presence on the offensive glass. New Zealand is playing great basketball right now.
This has been a display from New Zealand in this first half. Harvey tosses it out. 5 on the shot clock here for Deng Deng to work with. Steps back. A long way off. Keep it on the offensive end by the Hawks, but it's just not clicking for them at the moment.
No, nothing really happening offensively, to be honest. Yeah, it's like pulling teeth, trying to get good looks in the half court for the Hawks right now.
Yeah, New Zealand's doing a great job of showing bodies, giving a big presence and staying in gaps, and they're making it really tough on Illawarra right now.
So the Hawks down by 14, looking for a way back into this game halfway through the second term. Harvey makes a move, spins his way through the lane, left-hand finish is beautiful. He's up to 5, lead back to 12. And we've good enough to have Daniel Greeter with us, the injured Hawk, here in our coverage of the Hungry Jacks NBL. Thanks for your time, Daniel. What are you seeing out there at the moment that your side needs to work on?
Yeah, I think we just need to play a little bit harder. They're killing us on the rebounds, so just get a bit more grit about us and we'll be fine.
Dan, how are you tracking, mate? You're nearby your return?
Yeah, I'm after the FIBA window is the plan. I've gone crazy a few times the last few years, but yeah, nearly there and super excited.
What up, Grades? How you doing, my brother?
How we doing, X? Good to hear your voice, bro. Good to hear your voice.
Good to see you, man. We're looking forward to getting you back out there. How's everything been? How have you been in workouts and all that kind of stuff?
You know me, bro. I'm doing everything I can. Slowing down has been the issue for me, so taking some rest days and things like that has been massive for my recovery, and I just stay in it mentally, and I'm gonna be good.
Good on you, Dan. Thanks for your time. All the best with the recovery.
Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you later.
Dan Greeter, the injured Hawk, joining us courtside. Of course, Justin Robinson, another injured Hawk. News earlier tonight. Peyton Seaver looking to sign with the Hawks. Olgun Ulich of ESPN Australia tweeting that earlier tonight. Of course, Matt Russell brought us that news right off the top.
That Dan Greeter mullet is almost out of control at this point.
He's not alone there in the mullet stakes in 2022. To say it's made a revival would be an understatement. McDowell-White goes down hard.
Isaac White is still probably leading that list, huh?
It's perfectly manicured, Isaac White, isn't it? And I also like the fact he has a little fun with it.
Yeah,
he just gives it a little flip every now and then after a big made triple.
Yeah. I've been trying to get him to cut it for 2 years now.
So 15-point lead. New Zealand 35 to Illawarra 20. New Zealand really have controlled it since leading by 5 at quarter time. It's been 4-14 out of that quarter time break. Let's get courtside. Matt Russell.
It is more on Dan Greeder's mullet. Liam, it's not nearly out of control. It is completely out of control. It's so unkept, the mullet's nearly become dreadlocks.
Goodness me. Well, he's nearly back on the floor, so it might be time to just give a little chop, I reckon.
Maybe. Let's hear from his coach. Jacob Jacomas caught up with Matt Russell pre-game, talking about not being worried about the results in the early part of the season. The Hawks come in 1-3.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long season. It's a top 6 if worse comes to worse. We just got to keep improving every game. If we start worrying about results 4 games in and we start, mind thinking ourselves that way, we're not going to do any well. We're just taking every game at a time. Whatever happens today will happen, and then we'll play the next one as it goes on.
So first-year coach, of course, Jacob Jacomas. You spent a bit of time under him last year, Xavier, when he was an assistant under Brian Gorgon. What type of coach do you think he is, and what have you seen from him in the early part of this season?
Yeah, he's definitely a player's coach, a coach that a lot of the guys love being under. He's high energy. He's one of those coaches that is going to demand a lot out of you, but he's also going to let you play free and be yourself. And I think you've seen, in his first coaching debut last year, his intensity and his intent to want to get the best out of his guys. So I think he's doing a great job, and obviously it's tough when you lose one of your best imports to start the season, but I think he'll be able to get his guys to respond to him really well, and they'll start playing at a high level here.
Been in every game, as mentioned earlier, they've led every game in the fourth quarter at some stage so far this season. So they're putting themselves in the opportunity, in the frame.
Well, they have been doing that prior to this first half, right here. They've really been hanging tough, like you say, been leading in the fourth quarter of all 3 of their losses. They've been giving up those big second half runs. Well, they've given up that run here in the first half. As you said, it was a 5-point game at quarter time. It does the splits there for a moment.
Just testing his mobility there.
But they've dug themselves a big old hole right here. Down 16 on your home floor in the early going, thanks to New Zealand's pressure and inability to stop their offensive execution.
One good thing about Illawarra with that is they play at such a hot, fast pace. They can get back in games pretty quickly. They just got to start making a few.
When they really get going in terms of King and Harvey and some of these guys, they can make them in a hurry. Here's Vodanovic, straight away 3-ball, rattles it in. 19-point lead to the Breakers. 18-4 here in this second period so far, and there's still 3 minutes 30 remaining. Hawks really need to find an answer, and quickly. That's not it. Repair takes it away, and he's fouled.
Defense just suffocating. Here's Vodanovic just stepping in to a wide open 3. Can't do that. He can stroke that thing. It's a couple of 3 balls for him in the first half, but man, they just really have the clamps on.
New Zealand's guards are doing such a great job of pressuring, getting great ball pressure, first of all, but also forcing extremely tough catches. And when you force tough catches like that, man, it becomes extremely hard for an offense to continue to click.
Hasn't been shooting it so well from the field so far this season. Has Repair, but he's 4 of 5 now, 5 of 6 from the line on the season. Game high 21-point lead the way of the Breakers. Here's Matiang working inside. Wow. Knocked away, blocked by McDowell White, gets it back. And McDowell White's there to pull down the board. He is the Swiss Army knife of this team. Just does a little bit of everything. And he's going to fire a 3. Oh my Have gosh. A look at that from Will McDowell White, doing it all.
And look at Coach Moody wanting more.
He does want more. Breakers by 24. Let's get courtside Matt Russell.
Yeah, lots of areas where the Hawks need to improve, Joel, as we see Vodanovic shoot the three, come up with a miss, and that's the area I want to talk about, rebounding. The Hawks being killed on the boards. Jacob Jackamus going to Sam Froling and say, I need you to lift, especially defensively. Just the 3 boards from Sam Froling so far as Liapa lets rip with another miss.
Plenty of opportunities for them. New Zealand came in the #1 rebounding side in the competition. 41.5 a game. Harvey turns the corner inside, looking for the lob to Mathiang, who's fouled.
Here's Will McDowell-White. His activity defensively, the block from behind, and then he's off with it. Pushing in transition, heads on a swivel, reading the defense, works off that Derek Parton screen, the rescreen, and then bang. Knocks it down from long range.
Breakers by 24. They lead 16-21 at quarter time. The Hawks have only scored 4 points here in the second period. Mathiang can't add to it. And that man's got a bit of work to do. Joel Peterson, Xavier Ratan-Mays, and Liam Santamaria with you. Courtside Matt Russell and Brad Rosen. Mathiang misses both. It's really going from bad to worse here in this second period for the Hawks. Breakers swing the ball around. Liapa, McDowell-White, corner 3 ball. That won't go.
Hawks do a little zone in there.
Here's Deng trying to throw it down. Got upstairs, just couldn't finish. At the other end, Brantley was under the hoop. Liapa the wing 3. Firing at will at the moment, the Breakers. The Hawks push the pace. Nice finish from Mathiang.
Good timeout from Murdy Mayor. He just got a little loose with it offensively, firing off early triples in transition, the Breakers, and just starting to maybe have a little fun with it. And there's the missed dunk from Deng down one end.
Yeah, when those triples aren't going, it plays right into Illawarra's hands. Illawarra wants to play at that fast tempo. They want to get up and down the floor. They want to shoot quick shots. And that's why they're able to stay in games, because they can put points on the board extremely quickly.
What do you think Jacob Jackomas' message at this timeout would be, X?
Oh, he's going to be on them about the defensive end. He's going to be wanting their guards to put pressure on the basketball and to force tough catches. But then, you know, he's big on playing great defense, but finishing possessions and, you know, finishing possessions and getting high outlets and getting up and down the floor. So that's probably his message, is get stops, close out possessions with big defensive rebounds, and get out and run.
Yeah, those defensive rebounds have been a big issue, as Matt Russell was reporting before that Jacob was talking about. 10 offensive rebounds for New Zealand to 8 defensive rebounds for Illawarra. Now, when you're talking about a percentage, you're getting more defensive rebounds than your offensive than your opponent's getting defensive. You're smashing them on the glass. And X, you were speaking earlier, the presence of Derek Parton in particular there, not always pulling it down, but he's creating havoc in there and opening things up.
Yeah, because you have to send 2 bodies to him. It's almost a thing where, you know, the guy that's boxing Derek Harden out is you're not responsible for getting the rebound. You just got to get him off of the glass. So he's somebody that's extremely tough to deal with.
The Breakers have been pretty tough to deal with to start as a whole here. Up by 22, takeaway here to Davo Hickey. Nice move, throws it down, takes it all the way inside.
Good finish. Great way to come in and have an impact. Coach is looking for a spark, turns to a DP in Will Hickey.
And they're back into that zone again, throwing a little wrinkle, seeing that they can just give him a different look.
Hickey played 11 minutes against Adelaide, had a couple of steals. Certainly didn't have the highlight play like that. Another offensive second chance for the Breakers. Brantley steps back, calls glass.
That's a great defensive possession. It's tough when an offensive player hits a shot like that kind of deflates you a little bit.
Walk back down the floor and shake your head, and there's nothing more you can do.
Exactly.
Almost a turnover. King's yet to get going. This is it there. Matchang spins his way. So back to a 21-point spread. Breakers might hold it for the final possession of the first half.
Got to get a stop here in the half court and feel good about yourself going into halftime.
Liafa to Rupert. That won't go. And the Hawks do get the stop they were looking for. They just haven't had enough of them to half-time. All the Breakers in that second term, they turned a 5-point quarter-time lead into a 21-point half-time edge. Dominant start from New Zealand on Illawarra's home floor. Monday Night Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
The sandpit in Wollongong, it's meant to be a place of fun play for the Illawarra Hawks, but it's not been much fun tonight. They are down by 21 points at half-time. 47-26, Brad Rosen, 26 points and a half. Not nearly enough, especially when you're the home team.
No, not enough at all. And Illawarra, they've looked clunky, but New Zealand, they've come out, looked outstanding, shooting the ball, running the lanes. Their coach is up, their team is up. They are very, very comfortable.
Let's jump into the Hungry Jacks half-time highlights. The Breakers chasing 3 straight wins for the first time since February 2020, and they're right on track. There hasn't been enough of that from Sam Froling or any Hawk for that matter.
No, they just, like I said, they just look clunky. They come out and they do run their sets okay, but New Zealand, they run their sets perfectly. Look at that, pick and pop, no weak side help from Illawarra. Then they come down, they get steals, they get deflections. They've been playing really outstanding. Lockie Den, great knockdown of the three.
He had 7 points early, then took a seat, and when he returned in the second quarter, went cold. You wonder whether they could have left him out there while he was running hot.
Yeah, it's always difficult for the coach because it's like, which way do you want to go? But that man there, Tom Vodanovic, that's the one who I really want to talk about right now. This guy, he's come off an NBL championship with the Sydney Kings. He's got 10 points this quarter. He's playing really smoothly, looking great.
Look at the halftime stats and the shooting percentages of the Hawks, dreadful. Three-pointers down below 30%, field goals 36%. Rebounds 27 to 16. They are climbing all over the boards, the Breakers, and the Hawks have no answer.
And you look at that and you think to yourself, it's 2 of 7 from Illawarra, but it's 4 of 17 from New Zealand. You think, well, they're not shooting the ball well. It's the energy, Matt. Their energy is outstanding. They're winning the glass like you mentioned. They're running the lanes. They're smiling. They're happy. Illawarra just haven't bought their game today.
Let's expand on Tom Vodanovic because his first half, 10 points, second highest scorer for the Breakers behind William McDowell-White. Why did Tom Vodanovic stand out to you?
He was just great. He did this all last year for the Sydney Kings as well. He's strong, his muscles, look at that. He just always has a knack to be around the ball. That was a big loss for the Sydney Kings as they lost him, but for New Zealand, it's a fantastic pickup. Again, knocks down the 3, hits the 2, knocks down another 3, and defensively he picks it up for them.
And Modi Mayor loved him in that first half. He had Modi Mayor, the Breakers coach, up and about. Now, Illawarra hasn't had a great game offensively, Illawarra, but you picked him out for what he's doing off the ball.
100%. Tyler Harvey came off in the first half, and as soon as he did, they talked Illawarra off as well. Tyler Harvey came back on, and so did Illawarra. They had played the exact same minutes this half. That is not a mistake. That is a good coach knowing I need to have my best defensive player on their best offensive player. He might be quiet, but not on the defensive end. He's done an outstanding job, and he's kept Tyler Harvey to tough shots. That's his job. That's what he's done, and he's done it really well.
Illawarra has been delivering assists left, right, and centre this season, but certainly applying the clamps defensively tonight. Now, Brad Rosen, have you ever made a mid-court shot? How many did you make during your glorious NBL career?
I struggled to hit water if I fell out of a boat, but I would kick it and I'd have more of a chance.
So not many is the answer to that. The good news is, thanks to Latrobe Financial, we are guaranteeing someone gets a chance to do better than you and drop a shot from mid-court for $50,000. You do some damage with $50K.
For that, I'd even throw it.
Thank you, Latrobe Financial. Here's a chance to get involved in a great NBL promotion.
Hey fans, this season with thanks to Latrobe Financial, we are giving away a guaranteed $50,000. And like these NBL legends, Wortho and Gibbo, you can be a Latrobe Financial legend. All you need to do is send in a clip of you making a half-court shot for your chance to win a semifinals opportunity to shoot from half-court for $50,000. All thanks to Latrobe Financial. Head to the NBL website now to enter.
Half-time in the sandpit, all New Zealand in that first half. They lead by 21 at the main break, led by as many as 24 the Breakers. It's been a dominant start for them. Their offense has been running hot. Let's head to the analyser with Liam Santamaria and Xavier Rattan-Mays.
Well, the Breakers are looking good. Firstly, how good's my man looking in the salmon number from Men's Club? And how good are the Breakers looking with their pick and roll execution? They tore South East Melbourne up with that stuff the other night, and they've done some good work here in this first half. Have a look here. Will McDowell-White's got the ball. Firstly, what are the Breakers doing on the weak side here?
So New Zealand is a high-frequency, high-level pick-and-roll basketball team. This is just organized chaos. It looks like bad spacing, but what they're trying to do is take you off of the snail and take you away from having somebody as your catch guy down there.
Now, Will McDowell-White is making a read on the help defender here, Mango Matiang. What's he assessing?
So what New Zealand's trying to do right here is just get a great hit. Get a great hit on this guy where Will can play 2-on-1 on the backside in a pick and roll. So that's exactly what they're trying to get to on this backside.
And now that read doesn't stop. He comes off the pick here, and at this point, what is Will McDowell-White seeing from the defense from Matiang?
So he's just waiting on Mango to make a decision. As soon as Mango makes a decision, he can make his. So now he's got a great hit on this guard. They're playing 2-on-1 on this backside. If he doesn't commit to him, he has a drop-off pass and a slot pass at the rim, and you play it a little bit more. He's just kind of in that indecision where Will can just get to the rim and hit a floater late in the clock.
And they did some of this throughout that first half. Illawarra went to the zone. They're trying to find ways to slow down this New Zealand offense.
Haven't been able to as yet. Thanks, Liam and X. Second half about to get underway. 21 points is the Breakers' lead. 47-26. Led by 24 when it was 44-20, and Lockie Dent loses the handle on the opening possession of the second half. Turnover number 10 for Illawarra. Shooting it at just 36% in that opening half. The Breakers holding teams to 38% coming in, which not only a season best, but it would be the best in terms of NBL history for opponent field goal percentage. Defense has been outstanding again here tonight. Start the second half with Pardon, Jarrell Brantley, Liafa, Will McDowell-White, and Rupert out there on the floor. Now turnover on the offensive end for New Zealand. George King's trying to find his feet at midcourt.
And that's an early adjustment for Illawarra right there. They came out and they have bigs up at the level of the screen, trying to make it a little bit tougher to where those bigs aren't in a drop and those guards can make easy plays.
George King with a tough bucket. And the call as well as he banks it home.
This is a totally different lineup that Jurkomis has gone to begin this second half. Here you see there is the activity you're talking about. Xavier, Deng getting right up to the line of the screen and getting his hands on the pill. George King pounding away down low and knocks it in, but no Sam Froling, no Wani Swakala-Bullock. Now Swakala-Bullock's got 3 fouls, but so does Lockie Dent. He's out there. So Mango Matiang comes in. George King starts this second half. Jurkomis looks for a group that can have an impact.
So good start to Illawarra on the replay with thanks to our friends at Amy.
Jacob liked that zone. They're in it right now, and they've stayed in it, and it's continuing to work for them. If they can continue to stay in it and cause disruption in that for their offense, Jacob is a guy that will stay with things for long periods of time until you figure out until it's respected that it can be beat.
On the offensive end, they'd love to get to the free throw line a little bit more. Just the 3 attempts. They haven't hit one at the stripe tonight, the Hawks. They came in 9th in the competition, averaging just 13 free throws a game.
And that can sometimes become an issue for Illawarra. Xavier knows what we're talking about. It was an issue for his squad at times last season. When you fall in love with the jump shot, you're not putting a lot of heat on the rim, not getting to the free throw line, and hard to generate easy points.
It is, especially when you're not hitting, like you said. I think that free throw line and being able to get to that free throw line is an ability to stop runs and really put pressure on defenses. And you would like to see them do that here in this second half and get to that free throw line and stop runs and do a really good job of that as well.
Lockie Dent goes across the lane. Harvey soars to the baseline to try and get the leaner to go. Brantley with the defensive rebound. Had it poked away. King comes away with the loose ball, takes it all the way down the floor.
Again, the active hands from Deng Deng. Getting involved at the defensive end, causing turnovers and a little bit of run and rhythm for Illawarra offensively. There's Deng Deng just chiming in, getting it loose, and George King, straight line attack to the hoop.
So a 4-0 run out of the half for Illawarra. They close the gap to 17. As we said earlier, they've been in every game so far this season. They've led in the fourth quarter of each of their 4 contests. Jacob Jaconis spoke pre-game about how they can better close out those late game situations.
We've spoken about it in the change rooms, and obviously we don't find it a problem right now. We've played we played all 4 of the top teams supposedly at the beginning of the year in these games, and we just haven't been able to hold on to leads at the end. We find that we're still improving game to game, and then if it comes to us again, we'll be ready for it, and hopefully we can close it out.
I was just trying to stay upbeat. Jacob Jaconis, they were games that got away from them big time. They've been scrappy and feisty, this Hawks team, undermanned Hawks team in the early going here, but they would be ruined some of those missed opportunities. But you got to stay upbeat, got to keep them confident, try to get them things done. But up against it here against the Breakers team that, as you said earlier, Xavier, is playing at a really high level.
Yeah, they are. But Illawarra has done a really good job in the second half of making some changes. I think the versatility of King and Deng Deng and Mango gives them the ability to switch a couple things and really be disruptive in that defense.
So looking for a bit of an improvement here, Illawarra. Brantley fires the 3 and knocks that down to take it back out to a 20-point game. Let's get courtside. Brad Rosen.
Yeah, Illawarra are very happy with what they're doing in that first little bit. What they have said, though, is don't ghost the screen. In other words, don't fake it. We want you to actually go over the screen, make the switch and pop. Matty Russell, what were New Zealand thinking?
Modi Mayor may be one of the most animated coaches in the league as we see Rupert deliver for the Breakers. But right there, he was calm, cool and controlled. Just a little settled in timeout for Modi.
So a little mini run here.
There's nothing cool, calm and collected about that.
That is the commentator's curse from Matt Russell. Modi Mayor going for the hold me back on the bench. His team's just ripped off a 5-0 run, a couple of consecutive buckets, and he gets teed up. So Tyler Harvey to try and make the first free throw of the night for the Hawks.
I'm not sure what he was upset about. His man Rayan Rupert got away with a clear travel down the other end.
He is a character. There's no doubt about that. Is Modi Mayor. As Matt told you, brings great energy.
What's great as a player, though, is knowing that your coach is going to go to war for you on any given possession. Right or wrong, he's going to, he has your back.
Harvey tries to find his range from downtown. Will McDowell-White with another rebound. His 5th of the evening. Leads all scorers with 12. Brantley inside. Rupert has it knocked away. Last touch by the 18-year-old next start. So it's going to be a Hawks ball. Only trailed by 5 at quarter time with the Hawks, down by 21 at the half. Back to that now after they scored the first 5 of this second half, and then New Zealand have scored the next 5. Brantley thought about the 3. And now we really think about it. Jacob Jaconis just calls for a little bit of control from Lockie Dent running the point. 10 turnovers for the Hawks so far in the game. Dent draws the foul.
Heads up play from Lockie Dent. Rayan Rupert loves to get his hands involved when he's guarding the ball. You experienced that in first person a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, he does. His length on the defensive end causes you problems. He's not one of those guys that you can play with the ball in front of. He's happy to take it away from you. So he does a great job for their defense in being able to put ball pressure and create a lot of havoc in that starting spot. And he does such a good job of making things really tough on opposing guards.
Alex Madronya into the game and straight onto the score sheet.
That's instant impact. Madronya, really good read from Sam Froling. Does a great job on those short rolls, making good reads. There, the defense collapsed. Kicks it out to the open shooter.
And that's another guy who can score in bunches. Alex Mudd, he was another guy that used to give us fits on that scout team in practice last year.
Deng with another takeaway. Dent brings it up the floor, lines up the triple. Can't get it to go. Pardon soars for the rebound. Just the second defensive rebound for Derek Pardon. He's got 3 at the offensive end. 5 and 5 for him so far this evening. Dow White knifes inside, outside to Glidden. Airball for the returning Cam Glidden. Underwent a bit of a fitness test before the game. He's been unwell. Didn't play on Saturday against the Phoenix.
A little horn set to a flare.
Here's King.
Get it to King and allow him to play in space.
I'd love a little bit more output from him, wouldn't they?
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully he can get going here in this second half, hit a couple shots, and start feeling good. Because when he's another one, when he hits a couple, the basket seems to get really big for him.
6 points, 6 rebounds so far for George King.
The offense just drying up a little bit here for New Zealand. The zone is active and has just stalled the momentum for New Zealand at the offensive end.
Just the 5 points for the Breakers through more than halfway in this third period. Deng's fouled, trying to make the little hook shot.
This is where it's a little tricky for the Breakers. Joel, you want?
Yeah, of course, thanks to Latrobe Financial this season. We're giving away a guaranteed $50,000. Enter now at nbl.com.au/legends for your chance to win.
I was going to say, it gets a little tricky here for the Breakers. They're struggling from long range. 5 of 21. They were getting so much good stuff towards the rim in that first half. And against this zone, they're getting really good looks on the perimeter, and they're finding it hard to turn them down, despite the fact not a lot of them are finding the bottom of the net.
Yeah, and it's obviously been a coaching change for Jake, and his live with is going to be giving up those threes, those contested threes, and trying to take away anything at the rim. And that's what this zone is doing, is creating a lot of indecision and creating a lot of lightly contested, heavily contested threes.
8-0 run here for the Hawks. As Jamal Brantley can't snap it with the corner 3. Breakers able to keep it alive. McDowell White, the floater from the free throw line, won't go. And Dent instructed to hold it up a little bit. Lockie Dent with 7 points this evening. Gets all the way inside, out to Deng in the corner. Bang! Deng cuts it back to 11.
And same thing on that offensive side. They're running that 25 action, that little horn set with a flare. If the flare's not there, they're going right into a high pick and roll and a ball screen.
As Lowe rumbles inside, finds the answer, snaps the 11-0 run for the Breakers.
Once again, Will McDowell-White just making good reads off that pick and roll action. Finding Lowe towards the cup.
Dent now with the floater. Gets inside, can't get it to go, but Froling tips it home. Some really good activity here from the Hawks. Found themselves back into the game.
That's a big shot.
Cam Glidden rattles it in.
That's a shot that hurts.
Just when they started to fight themselves back into the contest, the Hawks, Cam Glidden comes up with the answer. And he makes it a 14-point game again. 57-43. Glidden with his first points of the evening. He's a welcome return to this New Zealand lineup.
He was a long way off with his first attempt a couple of possessions ago, but just a rangefinder. Catches it, doesn't hesitate next time down. He knows he's out there against this zone to be a zone buster from long range. And as you say, that is a big hit. Just when Illawarra felt like they were starting to make some inroads.
We spoke about Ryan Rupert earlier, the French next star, the 18-year-old, and what a problem he is. Odi Mayor spoke on Saturday after he turned in a great performance in extended minutes against the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix about the way the teenager's growing into things for the Breakers.
Ryan is an incredible talent, everybody knows this, but he fits our system very, very well. He can do a little bit more, but the things that we ask him to do within our structure fit him perfectly. And when he does that aggressively, good things happen. I'm sure he's going to get better and better. Well, 18-year-olds tend to, and nobody outworks this kid. So I'm sure he's going to just be better and better as long as the season progresses.
He's got big upside, X, and if he can fit into the system, if you get that kind of player who comes in, has the upside, willing to work, and then fits into your system, it's a massive boost.
It definitely is. And you know, playing under a coach like this, that's giving him the freedom to be himself offensively and, you know, injecting confidence into him consistently. It only helps a young guy like that, because when you have the backing of your coach to be able to go out there and to shoot shots and know that they back you and support you, those shots start to really go down.
Here's Glidden in the corner, sets the feet and strokes it again. Back-to-back threes for Cam Glidden and the Breakers. All of a sudden, it's back out to 17. Glidden's up to 6 points now. McDowell, White, Vodanovic and Brantley all in double digits for the Breakers. No Hawk in double digits. Dent. Corner three won't go. Deng couldn't connect. Breakers with a chance to push it back out to a 20-point game. Low, hangs, can't hit. Good defensive play from Sam Froling. Hawks need something on the offensive end. Madronya cutting baseline. Good cut
from Madronya. Had the potential to just camp out in that opposite corner, but a little movement off the ball right at the right moment. Easy finish at the rim.
15-point spread. Low push shot won't go. Kings onto it.
We're staying in that same set.
Froling takes the handoff at the top of the key. 5 on the shot clock now for Deng. Short on the 3 ball. And the opposite number, 77. Niall Brantley. The injury replacement player coming into play alongside his brother. Both grew up in Charleston, South Carolina.
You can hear Murdy Mayor. Every time the Breakers get a defensive rebound right now, he's just screaming Will McDowell-White's name. He's so comfortable operating with the ball right now, finding open guys. They haven't knocked all of them down, but he's in a bit of a groove and a rhythm offensively. Mayor wants the ball in his hands.
15-point Breakers lead. Let's get courtside. Brad Rosen.
Yeah, just looking at Jacob here. He's made 3 substitutions. He's very happy with the defensive end, the way they're hustling. And he brings on Tyler Harvey. And what does New Zealand do? Straight go to Liartha. He will mark that man.
Liartha with the turnover. Good defensive result for the Hawks. Forced their way back into the contest here. I'd love to cut the margin down to around single digits if they can, heading into three-quarter time. Harvey, tough make. Little left-hand leaner gets it to go.
So hard to guard because when he gets to that mid-range area, it's not a traditional mid-range shot. It's a floater that comes from the free throw line and extended, which makes it extremely hard to guard.
Liartha drops the shoulder, called for the offensive foul. Nice defensive play from Lockie Dent.
Really good defensive play. Just picked it. Saw Liartha on the move, on the attack, as he caught it, and Dent just slid his feet, got right to the spot, took it down the numbers.
Harvey, the first Hawk in double digits with 10. He's 4 of 11 from the field. Lockie Dent's got 7. Matt Young and King each with 6 for the Hawks. No one's got off the chain, really, for either side. As Illawarra trying to cut back into this Breakers lead at 13. Hasn't been back to 10 since the early stages of the second period as Dent floats it home. An 11-point Breakers lead. They'll hold it up for the final possession of the third period. Brantley, deep 3, won't go. And the Hawks get a stop to go to three-quarter time. They forced their way back into the contest. They've still got some work to do, though. Down by 11 heading into the final period. Monday Night Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. So the Breakers lead back to 11 as we head into the final period, 60-49. The Hawks force their way back into the game in that third period. A much better effort from them. Xavier Rattan-Mays and Liam Santamaria alongside myself, Joel Peterson. And that man could get them really involved, Liam.
He's the danger man for the Breakers, no doubt about it. We spoke off the top, coming in, shooting around 33% from the field, but can heat up at any moment. How do the Hawks get him going, Xavier, in this fourth quarter?
Yeah, just expect him to be ultra aggressive in this fourth quarter. He's the guy that they're going to live and die with. He's a guy that can run him off in bunches, and expect to see him in some ball screens and some split actions, and where they can free him up and get him some great and easy looks.
Check in with Brad and Matt courtside soon as Lowe gets that to roll home and opens the final period with a score for the Breakers. They led by 21 at the half, led by 22 early in that second period. And now it's back to a 13-point spread. Let's get courtside. Matt Russell.
Joel, a key part of the Hawks' mini fight back to half-time. They had 9 turnovers. In the third quarter, only 2. And in the same period, they forced 6 from the Breakers. Brad Rosen, I wonder whether the Hawks can keep that going as Tyler Harvey misses the 3 and Conrad grabs the rebound.
Yeah, Jacob was very happy with the way his team's played that on the back of a 23-13 quarter. He said, we dug ourselves a hole. We're now back. Don't let them out of it. Let's play these last 10 minutes.
have been able to fight their way back in. In the 3 games they've lost so far, Illawarra, they led Sydney by 7 in the final term, they led Perth by 7 in the final term, and they led at 3/4 time and early in the last against Adelaide. So they are going to make a run at some stage. Was it in that 3rd period, or can they sustain it and put some pressure on the Breakers here in this final period? Plenty to play out. Monday Night Hoops. Great to have you with us. Here's Glidden. Brantley cross court to Liafa. Needs to get busy. Step back 3. Yes.
It's tough.
That is tough.
His first bucket of the game, he was 0 for 6 before that shot. Step back 3, over a hand, late in the shot clock.
What a time to get involved in the scoring. 16 the New Zealand lead. Here's Timmy Conrad from the corner. That one won't go.
That's a great look for him.
Hasn't made a field goal tonight. Conrad came in red hot on the season. Shooting at 8 of 11 before tonight. Dead fights for the loose ball. Lowe comes up with it, the big man. Glidden was wide open in the corner. And a whistle on the play.
They got to reset. Here is that tough hit from Liafa. Got the defense slightly off balance. They're all pretty happy about it. Especially Barry Brown.
Telling the crowd to sit down.
Miami replay. Barry Brown, he's been an excitement machine even when he's not out there on the court.
Yeah, there's a good vibe around this squad. Good vibe. They're getting down, working hard defensively, sharing the ball. See, they got 865 points on the board here. No one scored more than 12. Got 7 different guys with 5 or more points as they're sharing the ball and everyone's getting involved.
4 in double digits for the Breakers, just the 1 in double digits for the Hawks. It's Tyler Harvey with 10. Brantley, Vodanovic and Lowe all have 10 for the Breakers. McDowell White has 12. Here's Harvey on the offensive end, poked away by Glidden. And then Liafa races up the floor and lays it in. So the Breakers burst out of the blocks with a 7-0 run to start this final period. And all of a sudden, they've got it back out to an 18-point spread. Here the instruction from Modi Mayor to be a little bit more active in that rebounding battle as King hits the corner 3.
If they're going to make a run, it's going to have to be now. They're going to have to, string some stops together, get out in transition, get some early buckets, get some great looks at the rim, and try and get to the free throw line. Extend this game.
Liafa goes around and out. Lowe fights for the rebound, comes up with it, fouled by Conrad.
Good hustle from Rob Lowe. The other thing the Hawks are going to need is for New Zealand to miss 3 balls.
Yeah.
Because if they're going to sit in this zone, despite there is a good level of activity involved, bigs coming up with the ball screen and getting involved, they're giving up open looks on the arc. And the Breakers, for the most part, just haven't made them pay.
Yeah, and like we talked about in the first half, it's about can you make a miss from the 3-point line, but then close out possessions, get defensive rebounds where you can start your break. And New Zealand does such an amazing job of getting to the offensive glass and creating second chance opportunities.
So the Breakers by 15, 67-52. Jacob Jackomas drawing things up at the timeout. Breakers came out of the blocks red hot. They've been able to answer back a little bit, the Hawks.
One guy who hasn't really got involved a lot tonight is Sam Froling. We spoke about that tough matchup with Derek Pardon. It's almost like they've kind of nullified each other a lot for most of the night. But
had a lot of touches early, didn't he?
Yeah, he really did. He's so key when he's involved and making plays. He's got those 3 assists, the 4 boards, just the 4 points, 2 of 6 from the field. They're a much better team when he's up there in double figures, 15 or so points, and making a real nuisance of himself at the offensive end.
So 67-52 to the Breakers. Out of the timeout.
So
The Breakers by 15. Dominant the road teams. So 8 of the last 9 in the NBL in NBL23. The only home team to win so far this weekend was Adelaide against Illawarra. Tassie on the road against Adelaide. Cairns on the road against Sydney. Melbourne United over Perth. New Zealand on the road against the Phoenix. Tassie against United, and then Sydney against Brisbane. Brantley takes it baseline, can't get it to go. King feeds it inside to Matiang. Blocked by Lowe. Swatted away by the big man.
Great awareness from Lowe of understanding that Liapo is down there on an island by himself to be able to come over and block a shot is big time.
Rob Lowe playing some big minutes again tonight for the Breakers. Gets the inside touch. Foul on the way through.
There's that block from Rob Lowe, as you say, just coming across, recognising his teammate was in trouble.
Yeah, not in the
and times it perfectly.
Black 94, push on the floor.
Had been shooting the 3 ball so well coming into tonight, Rob Lowe. Hasn't even taken one. 5 of 7 on the season so far. Hasn't needed it tonight to get to 10 points, to go with 6 rebounds, 2 steals and a block. A stat-stuffing performance from the Breakers' big man. Will McDowell-White with a slightly unintentional through the legs dribble. Now Liapo with low numbers. Corner 3 ball. Harvey gets a good piece of it.
Great defense.
They need some more sparks like that here, the Hawks. Deng races up the floor. King's got the quick trigger. Can't get the friendly roll.
That's a tough shot to shoot early in the clock like that.
Arden's mobbed inside. He gets the call.
It's a good read for McDowell-White. Just sees his teammate has a little advantage. Had the seal there on Lockie Dent. Lockie Dent fought hard the previous possession. It was mismatched down low with Pardon, and they were able to force the turnover. But here the big fella gets to the stripe.
Can't get it to go. Derek Pardon hasn't had the great free throw shooting form tonight. And that one misses. Was the foul line violation in there? Deep 3 from McDowell-White.
That's a backbreaker for the Hawks.
Rebounds.
Good activity on the offensive glass. Rob Lowe cleans it up, and it's a heartbreaker for the Hawkheads.
Just the 1 bucket so far in this term for the Hawks as Harvey adds a second. Gets something going for them offensively. Margin was back out to 20. It was 5 at quarter time. The Breakers had an 8-0 run in the middle of the first period to build that lead. They haven't ceded it since. Foul. McDowell-White has been active tonight. He's got 15 points. We know he can do a little bit of everything. He's been great tonight.
Yeah, he really has. Spoke with him ahead of the season, and he's talking about how aggressive Mayor wants him to be, talking about getting the keys to this team. And he said that they chatted about numbers around 16, 8, and 8 on a nightly basis. Now, of course, they're extraordinary numbers, almost what you're putting up right now. Ex-leading your team in points, rebounds, and assists, but he's closing in on that kind of line tonight. 15 points, is at the stripe right now, 8 boards, 6 assists, 3 steals, has just been really impactful.
And a block to go with it.
Yeah, McDowell is the head of the snake for them in terms of their offense. He gets them in and out of their stuff. You can hear coach screaming for him to get the ball every time they get a defensive rebound. So when the ball is in his hands, good things happen. They're able to be highly efficient in their offense, and obviously when you put him in that pick and roll, they're really tough to guard.
Back out to 20, this Breakers lead. Harvey's pressured. Now Deng making the move on low. Can't get the off-balance shot to go. Dow White's got 17 to lead all scorers.
Back to that empty side ball screen.
Turns the
just
corner.
Operate.
Can't get inside and finish. Got inside, couldn't finish, and a foul on the play.
Talking earlier, Xavier, about Derek Pardon's activity. The smarts too. You know, his ability to quickly slap on those drag screens for McDowell White while the defense is still trying to get themselves sorted. And I love the way how quick he gets out of those screening actions as well. Puts so much pressure on the defense.
Yeah, that's what makes him extremely tough to guard, right? Is, you know, having that balance as a big of knowing when to run and put your head on the rim, and knowing when to run and get hits on guards and put them in tough ball screen situations. And he does such a great job of that. And he frees up Will McDowell and Isaiah Liafa and those guys to be able to get into spaces where they can operate.
Okay, we've got an upgrade to an unsportsmanlike foul on number 1.
Okay. So they reviewed the play, and Tyler Harvey, adjudged to not have not made a play on the ball. And so Derek Pardon will go to the line. He's 1 of 3 so far tonight. 12 of 20 on the season from the stripe. That one rattles home.
No lineup. One more.
So we'll get a second free throw. Try and make it a 22-point game. Dominant from the Breakers so far this evening. Chasing a 3rd win in a row for the first time since February 2020.
Tell you, from a neutral observer's perspective, it's so good to see the Breakers up and about.
Absolutely.
This is going to be a road double win over the course of this weekend. Really, really impressive. And then you know that Breaker Nation just cannot wait for this squad to get back home to Auckland.
They'll be there on Thursday against South East Melbourne. Let's go courtside. Matt Russell.
Yeah, further to that, Joel, you look at the tough draw for the Breakers. This is really important momentum for the New Zealanders. They've come from Melbourne to Wollongong. They open round 4 in 72 hours in Auckland, and then they're in Cairns on Sunday against the Taipans. So to have 3 straight wins virtually in the bank as we speak now with that draw confronting them, yeah, really important momentum for the Breakers.
So they won't be at Spark Arena on Thursday. They'll be at the Trusts Arena in Auckland. So not at their usual home. Dent with the wild 3 ball as the shot clock expired. And that'll be a Breakers ball. Up 22 here, New Zealand. Ode Mayor not particularly keen on the advice from his assistant on that occasion. I'm not a great lip reader, but I think it might have been be quiet or similar.
I think it was the I've got this.
McDowell White loses the handle. Talks with a turnover. Harvey, 3 ball. Won't go. Hasn't been his night again. 5 of 14, 5 of 15 now from the field for Tyler Harvey. And offensively, it really hasn't been much to write home about for the Hawks. And again, New Zealand have done a great job defensively. As Liafa scoots his way inside with the left-hand finish. .24 points, the Breakers spread. Foul on the players. Harvey goes baseline, fouled by McDowell White.
I think the ball's just going to go the other way. Just lost the handle on it at the end there. Tyler Harvey spilled out of bounds. The Breakers are going to take it.
So here's a turnover. You don't need to give them any more opportunities. Game high lead was 24. That Hawks at 44-20 late in the second period. Rob Lowe now loses the handle, but that'll stay a Breakers ball. So last made the finals in 2018. Of course, this new coach for New Zealand got some really good energy about them. Expanded play-in format this year in the NBL, so a few more postseason chances at Glidden. Makes a big catch-and-shoot three. He's got 3 triples on the evening. 9 points.
And those three threes that he hits have all been big ones in the second half.
Back-to-back threes in that third quarter. King drops the shoulder, then drops it inside to Deng, who can't get it to drop. It'll stay a Hawks ball. Deng karate chops his forearm to illustrate his point to the referee. 27-point lead for New Zealand is a game high. And they've got a good mix as well. We've spoken about their energy, but the experience versus those young players that are making their way back in, looking for an opportunity, the Liafas of the world, McDowell White, Repair, of course. Just in terms of the roster construction, it looks like they put things together nicely.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, you know, the 3 imports as well, like they're coming in and just mixing really well with the squad that they've got together. Barry Brown, he's been really good for him in the minutes he's had on the floor, but they've been really good without him. Derek Pardon, Jarrell Brantley, they're all still working their way into how they can be effective in the NBL. But meanwhile, it's like Will McDowell-White, Isaiah Liafa, Rob Lowe, local guys having a really big impact and leading them to wins.
Of course, no Abercrombie still for the Breakers. Barry Brown to come back. What do you think the ceiling could be of this team as Repair puts up the corner 3, and that's way off? Where do you think they could get to, Liam?
Well, look, it's early, but I mean, we've seen in recent years teams like Cairns in the 2020 season, Tasmania last year. Look, you might look at some teams early in the year as Repair gets out in transition and finishes at the rim, and you think, oh, I'm not sure that team's going to be right in the mix down the pointy end of proceedings. But in this league, if you find some chemistry and some confidence, it's only a 28-game season, and then the playoffs go by quick. You can really do some things. So they're going to be, if they can get on a roll that can see them contending, they're going to be a feel-good story this season after a tough couple of years.
Yeah, and man, they're a good basketball team. They have all the right pieces. They got guys who can shoot the ball. They got a couple point guards who make it extremely tough on you. And then, like you said, the Jarrell Brantleys and the Derek Pardons, they do such a great job in offensive glass and creating such mismatches. They're a really good basketball team, coached by a great coach, and they're going to be, you know, a team that is gonna, when you see them on the schedule, you know you got to bring it every single night.
13-0 run for them here, the Breakers, from 54 to 73, now lead by 32. This is getting messy for the Hawks as Hickey gets inside, can't get the reverse to go. Nice finish from Gak, who's getting a bit of run. Out there with Madronya at the moment, Harry Morris, as well as Lani Swaka-Labullock. McNaught, Repair, Timmins, Fotu and Jamal Brantley out there for the Breakers. There's Timmins, the big fella out of Dunedin. Can't handle it inside. So it's going to be a big win for New Zealand. They're 3rd in a row. They'll move to 3-1, go 3rd on the table as Hickey gets the floater to go and 1.
Nice move from Hickey through the contact, kept his concentration, finished over the top. Just got the defense out of position with the hezzy and made the play at the rim. And I tell you, didn't the Breakers bench enjoy the work of Cam Glidden when he checked out of the game? 4 triples for a guy coming in under the weather. They weren't sure whether he was going to play. Just comes out and goes whackety whack in this 4th quarter.
Showing what experience he can add to this Breakers team. Bit of scoring punch coming off the bench. Here's McNaught. Fotu. And Repair called for the walk. "27, the Breakers lead, 86-59. Illawarra with 4 offensive performance tonight. Not able to return to their best. Jamal Brantley with a takeaway to put a little bit of a cherry on top of the Breakers' cake. Lays in his first bucket in the NBL. And it's going to be a big celebration for the New Zealand Breakers. Madronya gets it inside. Out to Swakala Bullock as time expires. Consolation prize only. Big win for the Breakers, their 3rd in a row. They've entrenched themselves inside the top 4 on the NBL table. They take it out 88-62.
Big win, as you say, Joel. Impressive win. The way they just came in and really dominated this game. You know, like stepped it up late in that first quarter, executed their stuff, built a 5-point lead, and from there just really put the hurt on the Hawks, blew it out to finish it off. 26-point win to cap off a road double where they grabbed 2 wins. That's really impressive stuff.
Always tough to go on the road in this league and get two big wins like that. And obviously they look like such a close-knit group of guys, and you know, being on these road trips allows you to grow and you know, mature as a team. And these are the wins that you need. These are the wins that you look back to at the end of the year and say these are the ones that, you know, really helped us grow. So hats off to them for a great performance tonight. And like I said, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with down the stretch.
They're back in action on Thursday against Southeast Melbourne, are the Breakers, and they're pretty happy with their night's work at the Wynn Entertainment Centre as well. 26-point winners, 88-62. Let's get down to Matt Russell, who's with the Footlocker Player of the Day, Will McDowell-White.
Joel, he had a big game indeed. Let's talk team first, Will. 3 wins in a row for the first time since 2020. What's the reaction to that?
Pretty surprising. But no, we've got guys sick, guys injured, and just like the old cliche, next man up, and that's what we pride ourselves on.
Now, defensively, you came into this game holding opposition teams to 38% shooting. You did it again to the Hawks tonight, and you kept them to, 62 points. So defensively, why is that such a feature of this team's performance right now?
Modi's see it inside our brains since day one. We want to be the best defensive team in the league, and it shows we can, when we want to do it, we can do it.
2 first-year coaches involved tonight. Why are you enjoying playing under Modi?
Probably something I can't say, but no, he makes it fun. He makes it a fun environment, and I guess, getting a chance to play at home obviously has an impact, but yeah, Modi's he's got that energy that you have to match.
Will, you're the Footlocker Player of the Game. You get $250 as a result because of these numbers. They're such good numbers, you've got to refer to them. 17 points, 10 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 blocks. So your reaction to your own performance tonight?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't have much in the tank. Been sick all week, throwing up this morning, even at half-time. I mean, that's pretty good numbers though.
Did you get that illness from Cam Glidden? Did he pass it on?
Well, I won't say anything about that.
Your 3rd year at the Breakers, and this year finally we get back to some normality, although you wouldn't know what it is given your first 2 years were predominantly in Australia. Are you looking forward to the season ahead after this start, 3-1 now?
Yeah, I mean, we all are. Now we get to ride this momentum at home in front of our people and our fans, and it's going to be fun.
Will McDowell-White, the Footlocker Player of the Game, congratulations. Good luck back home on Thursday night.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Let's jump over to Brad Rosen.
Yeah, I've got Isaiah here. Isaiah, what a fantastic game. Matty was just asking about the defence. Your job on Tyler Harvey tonight, any time he was on the court, you were on the court. That was obviously a plan.
Yeah, definitely. It's tough players. Tyler Harvey's the key to their their team, and he's tough to stop. So just trying to make it tough for him, and give him tough looks, and just make everything hard for him and contest it. And he's a great player, but you got to play defensively 40 minutes.
So when you're coming into a game like this with a Tyler Harvey that's a player that can go for 30 very easily, is it watching tape? Is it watching him every game? What do you focus on?
Yeah, for sure. Coaches get us ready, and players watch that film and just see what his tendencies are and what he likes and what he doesn't like, and just try and make everything tough for him.
So you move over to New Zealand this year. You've had one home game, and that's their first home game for a very long time. What was that like?
Yeah, it was definitely good. First year playing at Breakers and playing at Spark Arena, and it's amazing, being able to play in front of the fans and able to play in front of my family. My parents were there first time in a while, and very grateful for that.
Absolutely fantastic. I'm watching the bench here, and everyone just seems so happy for everyone in this team. Everyone wants a piece of something. Where's that coming from? It's great.
Everyone's close, on and off the court. We build, sorry my language, but we build, great chemistry, and, everyone's out for each other, and, one person makes a bucket, the next game someone else, everyone's off the bench, and, it creates good atmosphere, and, we like being around each other.
So for you personally, you've come from fantastic seasons in Phoenix and now coming over. Was it the opportunity to play, or was it to go home, or was it everything because you're playing fantastic, starting, getting plenty of minutes?
Yeah, definitely going home is, special. It's awesome 2 years at Phoenix, and I was grateful for the opportunity, and just being able to go home and play in front of my family was kind of main thing that I wanted to do, and kind of went from there.
Well, you're looking absolutely fantastic, and we love watching you. Congratulations on a fantastic win tonight. Great defense, we loved it. Good luck for the rest of the week.
Cool, thank you, appreciate it.
Thanks to Brad, to Matt, to Isaiah Liafa, and to this man, Will McDowell-White, the Footlocker player of the game, and he turned in some kind of performance, Liam.
Yeah, and he just did it almost in second gear, to be honest. Didn't look too stressed throughout most of the night, just making really good reads. Xavier broke that one down at half-time, just reading the defense off those pick and rolls. He stepped up and knocked down a couple from long range. And to be honest, he gave a lot of his teammates good looks on the perimeter that they didn't knock down. He ends up with 17, 10, and 6, and could very easily have been the season's first triple-double. Throw in 3 steals, a couple of blocks as well. Stat sheet stuffing performance from Will McDowell-White on a squad that had 6 guys in double figures and just really did a good job of playing together.
Yeah, like I said, he's the head of the snake for them, and when he goes, they go. And this was a perfect example of it tonight. And like you said, he had 6 assists tonight, but it could have been 12, 13 of them if guys knock a couple more down. But great player. It's nice to see him coming into himself and in a position where he's extremely comfortable playing under a great coach. So did a great job tonight, and he's going to be a focal point for any defense seeing them in a game.
As we take a look at the Hungry Jacks highlights, they were challenged early, the Breakers. The Hawks came out with a strong start, led by 5 in that early period, but New Zealand really took control, especially in that second term.
Yeah, big time in that second quarter. That's where they blew it open and started to have some fun. Illawarra got some things happening in that third term. They stuck with the zone and frustrated New Zealand a little bit, and they started to get the crowd involved just a little bit, but it was a big response down the stretch, and to be honest, it was dominant in that fourth term, and it became a basketball party for the Breakers as they ran away with that big win, and everybody got involved.
Yeah, and I think a huge point for New Zealand was their offensive rebounding. For them they get so many second chance points and wide open kick-out threes. It was big time for them, and that's something that they hang their hat on with Brantley and Pardon, and they're bigs, and they do a great job of it night in and night out.
So dominant performance from the Breakers. And again, a defensive masterclass from them. Points off turnovers. Cam Glidden with a couple of big triples coming off the bench. Really put the nail into the coffin. And lots to celebrate for New Zealand. A third win in a row as they head back to Auckland on Thursday night, 88-62.
And look down at the rebound count. That's what Xavier was talking about right there. It was a plus 14 on the rebound count, but 15 offensive boards. Just a whole bunch of second opportunities. Pardon had 4 of those. Rob Lowe had 5. Will McDowell-White chimed in with 3. So on top of their offensive execution, they were just gaining extra possessions there on the glass that made things tough for the Hawks.
So big numbers for the Breakers and a big win for New Zealand as well. 88-62. Plenty more post-game analysis to come from Xavier Raton-Mays, Liam Santamaria, Matt Russell and Brad Rosen courtside. Breakers big winners, 88-62 on Monday Night Hoops and the Hungry Jacks NBL.
It was a Monday night massacre in Wollongong. The visitors, the Breakers, celebrating a big win, 88-62. 3 wins in a row for the first time since February 2020. A road double for the first time since December 2019. The numbers were ugly for the Hawks, kept to 62%. Less than 40% shooting from the field, less than 30 in three-point range. And as has been touched on already, look at the rebound count. The Breakers all over the boards, Brad Rosen.
Yeah, I think as bad as the Hawks were, we really have to pay a huge compliment to Breakers. I thought they were outstanding, and it happened from the tip-off. Basically, from the second they stepped on the court, the energy was up, the coach was in it, the players were in it, and everyone that stepped on the court just looked like they knew their role. New Zealand were very, very impressive tonight.
They were big leaders at halftime and went on with the job in the second half. And it must be said, another final quarter fade out by the Hawks. They're now negative 48 in their final quarters this season. They got back within 11. They threatened to bring some life into the game, but just as they did that, there was an answer from the Breakers.
Yeah, I thought their 1-2-2 defence for the Hawks did some really good wonders for them, and it caused New Zealand to start taking threes, and they weren't dropping. Then Illawarra were able to get out, get some scores, but then New Zealand, they just buckled down and they were able to get the scores that they needed. Illawarra can take some positives out of this game. There is moments in the game that are good, but this is the problem. They're not playing for 40 minutes, and that's what they need. For New Zealand, they played great.
Well, the Hawks had only one player in double figures, Tyler Harvey, but at a low clip again. His season averaged 33%. In fact, the Breakers, 6 men in double figures. They had another with 9, so it was a complete team performance.
Yeah, it was, and Tyler Harvey got 12 points tonight from 16 shots, and I've been saying it through all night. I've just loved what Lee Arthur has done for that. Forget his scores, forget what he did. It was the defensive end. He did not let that man get off. But then in the fourth quarter, he was able to knock down some shots. We just had an interview with him. He's a happy man. Here he is laying that up, and they just look so happy. For Illawarra, they've got to go back to the drawing board. They do play some good offense, but not good enough.
Winning fixes lots of things, but you're right. Looking at the bench, looking at the team's reaction with Modi Mayor, and looking at the way they interacted with the fans who've been banded hillbillies by some. I live here because I can get away with saying that. They enjoyed the interaction. They brought them into the game, and it was easy to do when they were leading by such a margin.
Absolutely, and that's the beauty when you're playing the gong. Everyone knows that. The crowd, they are in it. They love supporting their team, but more importantly, they love giving it to the opposition. And that's what they do in New Zealand tonight. Well, they lived it and loved it, and they were smiling at them, and the crowd loved it.
Big numbers from Will McDowell-White, the footlocker player of the game. But Tom Vodanovic, you spoke about him at halftime. Did he go on with his performance as you would have expected?
Well, not so much on the scoring clip. I think that's what he had at halftime, but it was still his presence. It's his defensive way that he does things. It's his being around the board, right like that. He just gives that presence. And I mentioned it before, he is now an NBL champion. He knows what it takes. He's been around good programs. Those programs have showed him what they need to do. And you can see that is establishing itself through New Zealand. They get it right every day. They come to training, they work hard, and that leads from the top. And I think he's been great for him, Tom.
I was excited to watch the young next star, the Frenchman. Ryan Rupert had some slick touches again. What did your expertise pick up about Ryan?
I was so looking forward to him after his pre-season where he's been so good. It's a little bit quiet now, but I take nothing from that because he's young, and that's exactly what you want from the next star. I got to see him up close for the first time tonight. He is long. He's got long arms. He's got great length. He runs the floor well, and he's able to finish on the break really nicely. He will be really good for them, but he is going to take time, and that's the beauty of the next stars. That's what we want from these programs. He is an NBA quality guard, and we may get another one there.
11 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, another very tidy stats line from the teenager, Ryan Rupert. It's only 72 hours until round 4 of Hungry Jack's NBL, and it's the Breakers in action again. They go home on Thursday night against a team they've just beaten, in fact, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. They'll want to turn 3 straight wins into 4, 5, 6. They go from Auckland on Thursday back to Cairns on Sunday, so they're seeing plenty of the Tasman Sea from 30,000 feet.
And nothing is better than winning. Like you said, they're a happy bunch, and when you're a happy bunch, travel is fun. They'll enjoy this, they'll go home, they'll get on the road together, they'll love what they're doing, and that is going to be a tough road trip for Southeast. Remembering, this is New Zealand going home for their second game. Everyone loves their story with the fact that they haven't been able to be on the road, but you look at these games coming up, there's no easy one, Matty.
Another busy schedule. The Breakers, one of many teams with 2 games. They start round 4 on Thursday in Auckland, then back to far north Queensland on Sunday to play the Taipan. So what can the Breakers do this season? We will find out as Hungry Jack's 23 ticks along. On behalf of Brad Rosen and the entire commentary team, not to mention the hard-working production staff, thanks for your company tonight. Until Thursday in Auckland, it's goodbye from Wollongong.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.